Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 125 of Snakes and the Fat Man. Right off the bat, this episode is sponsored by Redline Shipping. We had a great trip to Canada because of Redline. Well, not because of Redline, but they made it possible. We actually had a great trip to Canada because of all the people there. So I definitely appreciate all of you guys that came up and hung out with the B Squad and the Redline road trip team. But if you need to ship a reptile, Redline is the way to go. You could use the code Robin60. All right, that's Robin with a Y. Robin60 for 60% off your first two shipments with Redline. And then when you're done with that, just use the code Fatman5 and you'll get $5 off any additional shipments. So thank you, Robin, for supporting the show. Already spoke with him about coming on next year. Robin also was a co-sponsor of the 15 Minutes of Lame belt that made its way up to Canada. So I guess it's international now. And that's pretty cool too. So Robin is basically sticking around for a sponsor for a while because he came in on that, and that's going to be around for at least a few years before we get a new belt. So anyway, yeah. So redlineshipping.com. That's the way. Use those coupon codes I gave you and get 60% off two of your packages, and then get $5 off any additional packages that you book also. So just use the code Fatman5 for that. All right, so listen, we could do rep to chip, Shauna. We could do rep to chip. Don't be a rep to bitch, okay? Fucking pay $3 extra a brick. Your snakes and animals will be happier on it. Just fucking use Reptichip, okay? I mean, it's the oldest reptile substrate out there, at least the oldest coconut, I believe, out there. I mean, prior to the Petcos and the ZooMed, stuff like that. But you could be supporting an American hero, support veteran-owned companies. That's Reptichip. Don't be a rep to cunt. All right, be a rep to bro and use Reptichip because that's how we get by here. JT is also doing some stuff for me right now for his continuation of sponsoring the show in 2025. So all right, let's give out some validations real quick. I just want to talk about a couple of things prior to the guests coming on. But who do we have here tonight? Let's see. Python Prince. Python Prince is a fucking Uber fan, man. I mean, this dude is in the Discord. He's in the Patreon. He's always giving super chats. I fucking love the guy. Blake is crushing it right now. So hopefully Blake will be on 15 Minutes of Wayne next year. Kevin from Sugar Skull, he was one of my Roadline Red Trip B Squad companions. So thanks for coming, Kevin. I appreciate you. He's also a member of the Patreon. Sean O'Connor. Okay, just saying hello to Kevin. Fucking Gerald. Fucking one of the better reasons that we went to Canada was to hang out with Gerald. VIP Morse. Blackheart Exotics. What a great fucking time in Canada we had with him. It's like fucking, he's a great dude, man. Fucking Mike from Blackheart is fucking awesome. MK Exotics. Mike, how you doing? Patreon member. Fucking thank you, Mike. Chain Reaction. Danny Cadena. Patreon member. Thank you so much for stopping by. Who else we got? More Forge, Jamie. Oh, at least we got the hot one. All right. At least the other two ugly asses didn't have to come here and ruin our fucking good looking vibe. Jamie, thanks for coming. Jamie is gonna be on a Sunday women's show. The last one of the year, actually. So Gecko Diva, Crystal, another reason why we went to Canada. And keeping with the hot people. Creative Coral Office. Thank you, man. Creative Coral Office shows up for everything that we do. Paul from Large Marge, Patreon member. He's my other fucking Redline road trip partner. And I believe we're going to Gettysburg next week. Look at this. All right. Look at this. Marcus Jane in the building. Probably the one like legendary guy that we met in Canada was easily Marcus Jing. RC Reptiles, Jamie, thank you. Patreon member, fucking love you for doing that. Former 15 Minutes of Lame contestant. Mercery Morphs, what's up, Joe? Fucking thanks for stopping by. Who else we got? Oh my god, Lily is so hot. I love when Lily shows up at these things. Fucking Lily is fucking hot. Nagatani Exotics, thank you for stopping by, Lily. I appreciate it. Let's see. Is that it? That's all we got? Okay. So I know that we're having a little bit of a rough time in the southeastern US. I'm not gonna bring everybody down, but there's been some shit going on. I think Jeremy Bart's whole house got destroyed. I mean, it's like every time he's posting pictures, a new tree fell on his fucking house. So his house got flooded. I mean, this guy's really hurt. I believe they set up a GoFundMe for Jeremy, so I'll be donating to that. Also, they have a couple of GoFundMes for South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. These are all places that got really fucked up by the last hurricane. So if you have a chance and if you have the means, okay, please donate to any of these GoFundMes. Don't just be like, my thoughts and prayers are with you, because fucking I always think, you ever see that meme where it just shows an empty truck and the meme says, "Thank God your thoughts and prayers have arrived finally. So now we could actually get stuff done." All right. Thoughts and prayers do nothing. Fucking money does stuff to help these people out. So if you can, and if you have the means, definitely donate to these people. Now, I was going to go on a rant about all this fake positivity going on in the hobby lately. And in the last 2 weeks or so, it's been proven to be like really fake, toxic positivity. So that's going to be interesting to see how all this shit plays out. Luckily, the toxic positivity people don't like me already, so I'm never going to get them as listeners, so I could say whatever the fuck I want about them. So just listen, stay away from the toxic positivity people, and everybody knows who I'm talking about. So what we're going to do right now is, I mean, I understand that you guys aren't here for me, okay? I understand that you guys are here for the guests, especially the Canadian people, right? Like fucking, I mean, they're like, "Shut up, you stupid American." All right, well, so let's just move on with the show then. You know what time it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, guys? It's Justin at Canova. For the past 5 years, 15 Minutes of Lame has become a launch pad for so many new successful breeders and a badge of honor in this industry. It's been so amazing to watch the passion and dedication you guys have and to watch your businesses grow. Just remember, the next me might be you.
15 Minutes of Lame!
Yo, look who I have here. My boy Sampson, who I've known for years, right? Like fucking, we've been talking for years, but just recently he was recommended to be on 15 Minutes of Lame. And as everybody knows, you don't just get to be on 15 Minutes of Lame. You have to be recommended to be on 15 Minutes of Lame. And Sampson was mentioned by a few people. So what's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. Living the dream.
Yeah, no, I know how that works. Okay, you definitely got your I'm a snake breeder camera view with you in front of a rack, right? Like you got to show off that. Yeah, we know you breed dumb ball pythons. It's all good. So you know how this works, all right? We're gonna put 15 minutes on the clock, and we're gonna start that now. Now, right off the bat, just one more exotic. Where'd the name come from?
Came from a bar that's around the corner from my house. It was just one more bar and grill, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, just one more alcoholic. Okay, so
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Just one more bar and grill. Okay, and Are you guys incorporated? Do you have an LLC? Is treating this more like a business or more like a hobby right now?
It's it's more of a hobby at the moment, but I do have a LLC.
Okay, just in case, right?
Yeah, just in case.
Well, just in case, and you could write off everything, right? I mean, it's just like, oh, like why the hell not? How long you been doing this?
I've been keeping reptiles since I was 12. 2017 is when I started planning on breeding, and 2019 is the first time I had a clutch.
So you had a clutch and pow, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all the babies sold, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And then the next year, when I had clutches, they didn't sell like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so it was COVID."
Yep, like 2020 was ball python breeders' best year, right? Like fucking 2019, 2020. And then like all the reality started kicking in, right? Like fucking um what are some big projects that you're producing right now? I mean, you've been doing it pre-COVID, so you have to have some established well-known projects, right?
My main thing was when I was getting in was trying to do triple heads, quad heads. So I have so basically I'm working puzzle in the Ultramel, Desert Ghost, Lavender, but and Pied. That's my main projects, but the main morph or recessive that I'm working on is puzzle.
Yeah, no, that's good. I always say that puzzle would be the thing I would get into if I got back into the ball python breeding. Now, you're doing the triple hets now, which everybody is doing now, right? Like, didn't you
Hmm.
guys think at the beginning? Like, I must have talked to probably 20 people on this so far. Didn't you think that maybe we should do triple hets with some sort of codom in it? So when people see us charging 25 grand for a triple het, that there's something to it and it's not a fucking normal. Like, did anybody even think of that? Because it seems like they're just thinking about that now. Okay. And they've been doing it for 4 years.
Right. Yeah, no, I have quite a bit of codoms in with it, mainly chocolate, because I have a double visual hypo chocolate
Okay.
DG male.
Mm.
And so I just planned on doing, putting him to a couple recessive females. And then once my puzzle female is up to size, she's at hypo, which she'll be going this year. So then
Oh,
just start working everything in that way.
hypo, huh?
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
That
Right.
white trash gene.
Right. That fucking white trash gene. Yeah. I just remember
Uh,
hypos like being the recessive project that like the poor people would get into, like the people with no money, because it would only be like a $40 recessive that you could get into, and then you could bullshit everybody and be like, yeah, I'm in the recessive game too, I got hypo, right?
I
And
got ripped off my first hypo.
why, what happened with
I
that?
paid $75 for
And you were just like, "Oh man, this is a steal." You're
her.
like
Yep.
you're telling your wife, like, "Listen, I can't afford not to buy this snake, right?" Like, fucking, yeah, fucking, the hypo shit is just garbage. Um, well, I've seen one or two that was comboed up with some things that looked pretty nice, but really, it was such the like the eighth tier of recessive projects to get into 10 years ago, right? And but I was talking to Limey and he said that he had paints on the table for like $200 a piece and nobody was buying them. All right. And this is like 5 years ago. And now, what's a paint going for? 2 grand, 2,500. Yeah, I would definitely be into the paint project too, because that's another gene that I would get into if I was doing it.
Well,
So
that's the same with G Stripe. When I got in, people were selling G Stripes for $100, and then now they put it G Stripe and Clown together, and they get the Kiki, and now
I don't even understand how that is demanding money with such a stupid name. Like, and I know it's fucked up. The guy named it after his daughter. I get it, but it's just stupid. it's just like the nanny and Mackenzie and dumb name shit like that. So it's pretty cool to actually see other people bringing in things like zebra and bringing in things that are the exact same thing and naming it something cool, right? Like
Right.
it's actually fun to watch. Now, everybody gets asked this question: how much have you put into this since 2017? And as of this afternoon, how much have you pulled out of it?
Man, I've probably put about $80,000 in with everything, and I've probably made around 20, 25.
Well, yeah, you make 25 back. If you put in 80 and made back 25 after 5 years, you're fucking killing it, dude. All right.
Well,
So
that was mainly the boas in the beginning. I started in boas. I bought 7 boas for like $17,000, and then ended up having a kid. Was scared that the boas were gonna eat my kid, so I sold them as sub adults for double the money, and that's really where I made my money
so,
back.
so that's so with ball pythons, nothing back.
Not
So yeah, that's
I,
usually the way
I,
it
I
goes.
I'm scared to go. I'm scared to go all in with, and then just be sitting on a bunch of babies. So I'm just working on the projects that that I want to hold back for right now. I mean, I could have like 10, 15 clutches a year, but I'm not. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Our first year we had 100 clutches. And we should have known that fucking ball python people are full of shit then, because because they told us that, like, don't worry, you'll pair 100 and maybe 60% will actually go for you, right? And when I tell you that every snake that we paired went, and it wasn't like we got slugs, or shit clutches. It was just like every animal put out 6 eggs minimum, right? So like
Oh wow.
within 4 months we had 700 new snakes. Like it was just the dumbest thing for us to do. So
I couldn't
that's why
imagine feeding
I don't
those.
listen to you ball python people. You're all a bunch of fucking liars. Fucking right off the bat I got lied to. um what's the 5-year plan for just one more?
I would like to double in size. I'd like to get back into boa, seeing that my son's old enough. Um, I wouldn't mind breeding tegus, but they have so many eggs. I wouldn't know what
Right,
to
yeah.
do. So, but yeah, definitely, I definitely want to get in the back into boas and keep breeding ball pythons.
Well, do you have room to expand, like where you're currently at now?
Yeah, I could fit a couple more racks where I'm at,
Okay.
but it'd be boa racks if I was to get another rack.
Yeah, I would think. Plus, the only way you're going to get into a big show like Tinley or St. Louis or Daytona even is you have to have more than ball pythons now. That's a rule. So, um,
Makes sense.
yeah, no, it absolutely does. Now let's go on to a couple of sponsors real quick. You knew this part was coming. All right, right off
Yeah.
the bat, where are you? Where are you located?
Ohio.
Oh man, you're gonna do so bad at this. Okay, all right,
Yes, I am.
all right. Do you use Raptor Tip?
No, I use Aspen.
You use Aspen? Fucking going old school. Fucking
Yep.
that's what we started on. Okay, using Aspen. I respect the fact that you're going old school, but JT over at Raptor Tip still gives you a big old fuck you. Okay, so I looked at your logo. It didn't look like it was done by Blake Stewart Design.
No.
No, but you don't have 25, 30 grand just laying around to do a
Nope.
logo and marketing plan. Oh, well, I mean, I respect that, but Stewart Design also gives you a big old fuck you. Okay. Have you ever been to a herp show?
No.
Dude, Sean Gray and Lori Gray give you a big fat fuck you. Have you ever bought a snake from Canova?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Good. Justin does not give you a fuck you. Okay. Does not give you a fuck you, but he may take that away. Do you use clutch?
No.
Yeah, it zeroes out. It zeroes out now. Fucking Justin gives you a big old fuck you. Do you have one sea serpent's rack or incubator in your house?
No, I do.
God damn it, dude. Chris Nettles gives
Told
you
you I
a
was gonna suck.
you. Oh my God, you suck. When you shed test, do you use Charlie over a Gray Rider?
No.
Dude, what the like? Why aren't you lying to me? Okay,
I haven't shed tested anything yet, so
oh, for the love of God, Charlie gives you a fuck you. Now, when you ship, do you ship with Redline?
yes.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Yes, I'm positive about that.
Okay, all right.
I actually have the scraper that comes in with the boxes to clean the
Oh,
tubs
the shit
behind me.
scraper? Yeah, fucking
Oh, that thing's amazing.
Robin does not give you a fuck you. And yes, the shit scraper fucking rocks, man. That's a big time thing. Now, how active are you on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook?
Instagram mainly. A couple years or about a year ago, I was kind of died down on Instagram when everybody stopped trading stickers.
Right.
Kind of hurt my feelings.
No.
So, but yeah, it's mainly Instagram. My Facebook is just for personal use. Once they start flagging people for selling pets on Facebook, I just gave up on Facebook.
Right, right. Were you a sticker guy?
Oh, in the beginning, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was sending stickers out every week.
Dude, I have become a sticker guy and I hate myself for it. All right. I fucking hate myself for it. I'm like, what are we all 7 years old? We're fucking trading stickers like Pokemon cards. But now I have like a set of 25 stickers that I send out because I'm gay. I'm fucking gay. It's just it's what I do. All right. All right. So where could people find you on Instagram?
And just one more exotics.
Mhm. Do you have a
That's
bunch of underscores in the middle of your
yes. It underscores an LLC at the end.
like why would you do that?
Be, that was the only way. Somebody else already had like
Somebody else
the
had just
just
one
one
more.
more. Not exotics, but for some reason it wouldn't let me do it the way I wanted to.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the worst. See if you could get that shit changed back. Okay. Um, all right. So are you a show guy currently or no?
No, I don't do shows.
Dude,
Just strictly online.
I've seen the shows in Ohio. Okay. I would not do those shows either, man. All right.
They the Medina reptile show, there's only like two breeders that I would even buy from. It's horrible. It's the
Well,
shows.
Brian Gillis from Sky High Morphs is one of your competitors in this thing this year, and he's from Ohio. And it's like the Ohio shows are done at people's houses. It's like, oh, we're at Jerry's garage today, and we're all set up selling some killer stuff. And you're like, dude, you're at Jerry's garage, man. I wouldn't do shows out there by you either. Are you a big morph market guy?
Yes.
Okay. Morph market under Darian or morph market under John? Which one was preferable for you?
The new guy for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You're one of the few
Yeah.
people that have said that. Okay.
I actually like the auctions, and it's something new, like it's something that I support for sure.
But it's really not something new because Will Banks was doing this 12 or
On
15 years.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the auction. I mean, it doesn't take much common sense to know that if you're giving snakes away at 30 cents on the dollar, people are going to show up and buy it, right? Like, I mean, oh, dude, you're done. You are
Oh
done.
man.
I don't even care what else you have to say because now you're finished. All right. So tell everybody
All
again how to
right.
get in touch with you.
Just one more exotics on Instagram. Morph Market. That's everything.
Dude, riveting. Thank you. I'm glad I waited 6 years for this. All right, fucking, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for being coming in with the fire. Okay, being a powerhouse.
I tried.
I fucking love you. You're gonna get an invite to the 15 minutes of lame chat where everybody's doing planning for a group collaboration and all that once the campaign starts. So thank you for doing this, my friend. I appreciate you. Everybody go follow Just One More Exotics with a whole bunch of underscores in it with LLC at the end of it. I mean, that's what are you gonna do, right? Okay. fucking Zach. I'll talk to you later on, brother. Okay.
All right, man. Later.
Thank you, my friend. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Batman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
All right, listen, everybody. Who do we got on here? Well, yeah, we should remove Sampson. He's walking around now. That segment was brought to you by Clutch, Justin Kabilka, Canova. Use Clutch, best cloud-based fucking organization system, blah, blah, blah. You already know. All right. I wish Clutch would give me fucking updates, okay, like Husbandry Pro fucking provides their people with. I mean, literally, I'm hearing a new thing come out about Husbandry Pro every 3 days, and I'm having trouble getting fucking updates from Justin after a month and a half, 2 months. But anyway, Clutch is, the sponsor of that fucking segment. Also, just so everybody knows, Stewart Design. Okay. Listen, they're going to be out of the price range for most of you people, but for the people that are in their price range, which is probably 20 to 30 grand, it's not just a logo making company. You actually get marketing help and design help and ways to get your brand out there. And Stewart Design is not fucking around. They've done national campaigns for like non-reptile companies like Buffalo Wild Wings, like Burger King. But they've done a ton of shit inside the reptile community. They've done Rice Reptiles. They've done Canova. They've done Cold Blooded Cafe. So if you want to run with the big boys, go check out SD Brands on Instagram and on the .com, and you can find out everything about my boy Blake. Also, another veteran-owned company. But the cool thing about Blake is he's only like 35, man, and this guy's brilliant. And you're not gonna be upset once you guys use Stewart Design. So go check them out. Let's see, what are we gonna do now? Do we want to do Charlie? Yeah, let's just get Charlie over with real quick. Not that we're just getting Charlie over with real quick, but fucking Charlie's my guy. Listen, you don't need to go to RGI and wait 17 weeks for your results back. Okay, you just don't need to. Okay, you go to Charlie, who's doing the exact same shit with like a 5 or 7 day turnaround. Okay, Charlie has tests for Desert Ghost, VPI Exantic, Wookie, Hypo, Mojave, Phantom, Yellow Belly, Spider, Sunset Clown, Bongo, Lavender, Albino, Special, Russo, Gravel, Champagne, Puzzle, Cryptic, Spot Nose Candy, Lesser, Piebald, Asphalt. This guy's not fucking around. He got everything that RGI got, and he does it better. Genetic Stripe, Chocolate, Hurricane, Albino, Bamboo, Ultramel, and Spark. And I believe that Charlie just announced on Late to the Mic last week that he got the zebra test too. So yeah, Charlie's fucking killing it, man. He gives discounts on sheds. You just use the code Fatman15. You'll get 15% off your shed test. And or I think that's just one order. So you just do you could have an order with multiple snakes in it, and you'll still get that 15% off. Charlie's a fucking rock star, and he's killing it, and he's disrupting the shed testing game. So I definitely want to thank Charlie for being the sponsor of the show, shedtesting.com. Go use Charlie. I don't know if you Canadians could use him yet, but I think that if there is somebody up in Canada who Charlie is actually working with. So get in touch with Charlie, find out who he's working with in Canada, and then use that person, because Charlie doesn't associate with riffraff. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, we're going to save two other sponsors for the end of the show, but right now we're going to bring in, all right, my boy Fadi, Naddehof, and Grant Crossman.
What's up, everyone?
Fucking what's up, guys? These are the guys responsible for the CRBE. And you two would be the top ones in charge, right?
He's the top dog in charge.
Well, yeah. Grant is. I knew Grant was in charge because I thought Fadi looked like all corporate and walking around with his walkie-talkie and doing things like that. But then I was like, there's a guy that he's talking to on that walkie-talkie that he's asking permission from, and I'm like, I want to deal with that guy, all right? And then, pow, Grant shows up. So welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on. Great show, man. I mean, yeah. It's such a great show. One of the things that I heard about was somebody said to me, we were afraid that you wouldn't be impressed with your American Tinleys and Daytonas. Let me tell you something. Everybody that I was there with was super impressed. And one of them even said they liked the show better than Tinley. So you guys definitely do it. You guys do it well. What was the impetus to actually start a reptile show in Canada? Where let's be serious, like the reptile hobby is nowhere as huge there as it is here.
Well, I don't know. You know, when you look at the basics of the number game, you know, I think we're equal, if not, you know, right there with everyone else. But back in 1989, I ventured down to Orlando. Met with Wayne and stuff, and yeah, that was our first exposure to the reptile shows down there. And bam, we started our first ever event up here in 1991, where we went into an old embassy hall, and we had 17 vendors. It was huge. It was great. 17 vendors, and now look where we're at now. We've grown the hobby to the point where, you know, the last show was just the reptile segment alone was 130,000 square feet.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
Unique. Yeah, it's pretty unique. And I got to tell you, like I toured a lot of the U.S. shows and stuff, and a few of the Canadian shows up here and stuff, and we got some really kick-ass, solid foundation vendors, you know. And I gotta give a bit of kudos out there. We used to do best booth, best breeder, best animal award and stuff, and then there was one vendor that kept taking the best booth award every bloody CRBE. So we had to stop. We kind of pulled it off, and I'm pretty sure.
Was that Marcus Jane?
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah.
You know, you have every guest come on and say, "Okay, go around, pick out your best booth that's going to give some exposure and not just to come out and sell, but educate and present and give some great eye candy out there." And everyone goes by, "Oh, yeah, there it is, right there, the orange one." You know, the orange and white stands out. But
yeah,
everybody really focuses on presentation. Optics is everything, you know, and we do a lot of work up here as far as advocating and lobbying, and we're pretty proud to say now, well, it should have been a long time ago, that reptiles are now in the same sentence as just regular mainstream pets in any type of bylaw, regulatory body and stuff. And it has a lot to do with the vendors and the events themselves.
Well, that's one of the great things that we noticed too at the show. So really, I just want to bring this up. So you met Wayne in 91?
Yeah.
So Wayne was only 82.
Yeah.
When you met him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just got the segue. He just got the segue.
Yeah. That's so okay. The one thing I did notice is that everybody gives a shit about presentation up there. Like everybody cared, from Marcus Jane to VIP to Gecko Diva. Like everybody gave a shit about their presentation. And it was a far cry from like the local shows here that you know, people show up, you know, with a tablecloth from Party City with a couple of reptiles on it. and then a bunch of half dead geckos and snakes. There was none of that there. And the one thing that I really had to applaud you guys for is, and Fadi, you could answer this if you want. You guys had it set up where a lot of people that came for the dog show and the fish show came through had to walk through the reptile show to get to their section that they wanted to get to. And I think that there was some conversions to reptile people from some of the dog people. And I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from that.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, Grant already said it. We want reptiles to become as included in the statement pets as dogs and cats and birds and everything else. So having all these people walk in through all the way, it's, as you said, exposes them to it. And just to quickly comment on the displays from the vendors, even at the smaller shows, not just at the CRBE, even at the smaller shows, all the vendors come out and they bring out the big displays, and every show looks almost as good as the CRBE because, as Grant said, all our vendors care very much. But yeah, so once you get a ticket for the CRBE or the Canadian Pet Expo, you have access to enter through both doors. And so I'm sure a few of the dog and cat people came in through the wrong entrance, or not the wrong entrance, the reptile entrance or the plant expo entrance. But that, again, gives people a chance to see everything. And we want them to walk around the entire show and see the aquatic portion as well and all of that. And I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Grant, but yeah.
No. It comes down to marketing and sales. A lot of the breeders are there to market reptiles one way or another. That's the idea. That's why they produce the passion to help finance their hobbies and stuff. And I always say it's easier to convert a pet person, whether they're aquatic, canine, feline, God forbid if they keep birds. It's easier to convert a pet person into the world of reptiles than it is to convert a non-pet person into the world of anything. So, it's amazing how many dog breeders, I laugh at them because we have the largest dog show in the country, and they come through and they're telling us about how they got their kids, their grandkids, or themselves a ball python.
Right.
It's just, you nailed it. Like it's cross-pollination and marketing. And years ago, it makes sense.
Well, with the amount of people that came in, if you can't sell to 20,000 new people walking past your thing, whether they're interested in reptiles or not, then you don't belong really doing this, right? Because you have 20,000 people walking through the door. That should be like a green light for any reptile guy to want to do your show, right? Because it's just like you have the opportunity to get new people in there. And that's I've talked to a bunch of people at that show that bought their first gecko or their first ball python, or so that was very cool to actually watch that. And I'm sure it happens in American shows too, but until very recently, we were just doing reptile shows, right? So we just started doing reptile and plant shows, for instance. We did one in Denver and on North Carolina, I believe, or South Carolina. And from what I understand at the South Carolina show, the plant people outsold the reptile people, so it's bringing in the new people that's really like the important part, right?
Yeah, we started plants, man, years ago, probably just before COVID and stuff, just because it's all about inclusivity, right? Aquascaping's huge, the natural bio units are huge and stuff, and it made sense. And yeah, you're right, some shows the plant people absolutely will out market and out traffic the reptile community itself, but it's good. It's we're a little different here in Canada. The reptile market is very strong and very passionate and very well networked. We don't have the numbers when it comes to dealing with regulations and lobbying and stuff. But what we find is when we bring them together into a building where you've got the dog, cat, aquatics, you've got that network and that family of pet people. So not only now we're past that point of being 350 vendors in a hall trying to sell some reptiles or get reptiles into new homes. Now we're 24,000 pet enthusiasts coming together to support everybody, whether it's cat, dog, etc. So we can call on when it comes to regulations and issues and stuff. our fellow aquatic friends or the dog group or the cat group, because hey, we're all in it together.
Right. And how did Fadi get involved in this whole thing? What did you see in Fadi that you were like, man, this is gonna be my right hand guy for the
He saw how
for
handsome I am.
that dude? You are the best looking dude in this room. I will give you that. Okay, right. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird, like we don't go out and put up job postings. Everybody that's kind of been within our team or family and been with us for a long time. We got a couple people on our staff that are over 20 years with us, and we consider them family. And I saw a young, aspiring influencer, video guy, junkie guy hanging around and stuff, personable, and he had the right message and the right demeanor to kind of join in and stuff. And we're pretty excited to see where he's going to go. And let's face it, we're kind of aging, so we're looking to let the next generation carry it on. And
oh, dude, and the one thing you guys do there, speaking of aging, is your Saturday show goes from 10 to 6. Okay, we all thought it only went till 4, right? So we're ready to go at 4. By 4 o'clock, I was with some old guys too, and they were just like, yeah, we got to get out of here. We need some quiet back at the hotel, right? And then we were talking to Gerald, and he's like, no, it's open till 6. And we're like, well, fuck that. We're going back to the hotel. We'll meet you for dinner later on. But in that extra 2 hours, do you guys have analytics on sales that go on because you're open that extra 2 hours? I mean, there's more of a chance for people to get there when it's open that late.
More than just.
Go ahead, Fadi.
So I was just gonna say, more than just analytics on sales, there's so much other things happening at the show, like the aquascape competition, the terrascape competition. There's the talks on stage that giving the attendees those extra 2 hours to be able to not only shop but see all these other extra activities. I think that in itself is worth those times. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add about the sales.
Yeah, and it's not so much just an actual on-site sales, and this is one thing we always try to emphasize with all the vendors and all the breeders is think of it as an opportunity to maintain relevance within the hobby and everything you're bringing out. And it's a marketing. Think of the sales and the engagement that you'll see the 3 weeks after the show. That's when you can really tell if you did a great job. It's always funny. I always say to the team and to the guys is like, the vendors that are going to come back to you and say, oh man, that show sucked. You know why? The first guy's asking for chairs when they walk in.
Right.
Just setting up the tables like chairs, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
That's something else that stood out to us. I believe Kevin was like, yo, everybody's standing behind their tables here. Nobody's sitting down. Everybody's engaging. And the kind of shift, at least with the ball python people here, have been like, I don't want to be the next Canova now. I don't want to be the next big guy, but if I can make 40 or 50 grand on top of my regular income doing something that I love, then that's what I'm going to do. And it seems like it took us years to figure that part out, whereas you guys have been doing it for years, because very few of the people that I talked to there did it full time. Everybody else had a different job, had a day job.
Yeah, we don't have too many full-time. Probably shouldn't say that, but we have a handful of dependent upon breeding full-time people up here and stuff. But we really encourage that whole networking. We're fortunate. We got the Neokas, we got the Mandics, we got the R&Rs, we've got Gerald. We've got so many people that help one another out, and they're always keeping an eye out for each other. And it's, I really always get a kick because someone will come up to a vendor's booth and ask for a banana or something. They haven't got these like that. They'll literally walk them to the next vendor's table 2 or 3 aisles over, leaving their shit behind to say, hey, let's get you over here, because they know at the end of the day, it might be the first seed planted and that person's going to come back. And it's a strong family, strong group.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Jason from Nyoka, he was one of my favorite people that I met there.
Isn't he great, man?
I mean, that dude is so fucking cool, right? I mean, he's just that dude just oozes out cool. And we actually did about an hour with him and Mark Mandic, backstage during the interview thing. And that guy is just, one of the coolest guys in Canada.
He's a school teacher. He's a school teacher. He's a
He's a
school
school
teacher.
teacher. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was great.
Wouldn't that
Right?
be great, man, to have someone like that teaching your kids a little bit about actual science and stuff,
Yeah,
and
seriously.
reading
Yeah.
genetics and stuff, and as opposed to useless shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, such a good guy, man. I was like one of our big takeaways was getting to hang out with him and meet him. Are there any regulations there as far as like I definitely didn't see venomous at your show. Do you have regulations on that? Does Canada have a venomous rule in effect everywhere that you just can't keep venomous throughout Canada, or
No,
what?
it's all municipal, city restricted. There's not a provincial or a federal. Was Will saying? Oh yeah, and sorry, Will, I didn't mean to get you on your first one, but yeah, yeah, it's all municipal, city wise, and then provincially, of course, they're working on stuff like that, and federally, we just fall with under the CITES Act.
Gotcha. Okay. Now the dollar in America is a little bit stronger than the dollar in Canada, right?
Right now, yeah.
Have you guys thought, and I'm sure you have you guys thought to maybe organize something with CITES where you could get more Americans to go up there and basically save a ton of money, get an $8,000 snake for $6,000 and then have it delivered to them that same week? Like I think that if you guys could pull that off, a ton of Americans would go there.
For years, we've tried to work that out with some of the shippers and do some of the blanket permits and stuff. And hopefully this year we're going to see some new blood coming into the Canadian market as far as shipping that's going to offer that. Right now, the present day shippers are not offering that because at the end of the day, it would make a lot of sense, 100%. And I know I can't really speak too much out for it, but I know CITES Canada is willing to work with us on that. But again, we can only do
that's the new guy that Redline is working with up there, right?
Not
yeah.
sure.
So it's I mean that would be great because we ran into some people like on the way out at like 4:30 that they just decided to go to that show from Detroit.
Yeah.
And they basically, drove up just to spend an hour at the show, and then drive the 4 hours back home. So there are Americans that are willing to come over and do that. And that would put Americans like so far ahead here to save that kind of money on a snake simply because of the difference in the dollar right now.
Yeah, not just so much the savings, the quality up here is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean,
come on, it's some great stuff up here, great animals.
Yeah. You when you guys, Fadi, when did you hop on board? What year?
It's been early last year, so about a year, just over a year and a half.
So just a year. So I'm glad I got you. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, everyone before me sucked, obviously.
And that's right. Yeah. and I just put two and two together. Grant is Poor Credit Pets.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've known about you guys for years, man. For fucking years.
Yeah.
And when you guys had a display there, we still do
we still do a bit of e-commerce, but I never talk about it. That's another group of the guys that work for us and stuff, and I don't do self-promote whatsoever. So, but yeah, we my wife and I bought that pet store back when we were 18 years old, and grew it up, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
Well, I notice also there, is it a lot easier to get rules and laws changed per municipality? Because I just found out that fucking Gerald is like some kind of congressman or something up there. And then the other guy, Corey, right? Or not Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey Woods.
Corey Woods, yeah. And I'm like, how the fuck are they letting these people in to like high-level decision-making processes? But I will tell you this, I'm glad they did, because Gerald's congressman came out in him when our hotel got screwed up, and he went off. He did the most non-Canadian thing that I've ever seen, and he started yelling at this poor little Indian woman, saying how unacceptable this was. Wasn't even her fault. Wasn't her fault that it just happened. The computers were down. Yeah. He went off, and he's like, there's people here that have to get here. We're in town for a conference. All right, we're in town for a conference, and you have a paraplegic waiting online out there to get into his room. And I'm looking around, I'm like, paraplegic. I'm like, oh, he's talking about me. That's awesome, right? So I made sure to wheel around there and make sure that everybody knew I was in a wheelchair. Didn't help, we still had to get a different hotel. But I was a little bit surprised to see Gerald and Corey in those particular roles up there. So be honest, is it easy to get into that kind of role up there? Silence. Man, nobody wants to say anything.
I wonder if he's got stuck. I don't know. I couldn't answer the question for you if it's easy or not. But when you meet people like Gerald, whether it's easy or not, you're gonna put somebody like that in that position, right? Like I would put Gerald as prime minister if I could.
Yeah, well, Gerald is seriously probably one of the nicest dudes that I've ever met, right? I think Grant is frozen.
I think he is.
Yeah. So we're gonna throw Grant out for a minute. He got all serious.
Oh, he just texted me.
Yeah, Gerald and Crystal. I mean, like two of the best people that I've met. Period. And that was before. That was before I knew anything about him. Grant's back. All right, cool. Sorry about that, Grant. Right.
Oh, not you. I'm in the middle of absolutely nowhere where my office is, and there's a storm going through, so gotta put the back on.
So what's the 5-year plan? What's the growth plan for the CRBE?
Oh God, the CRBE is going to grow. Like we went through a bit of a lull there where the market kind of dipped a bit, and as we grow, we're just going to continue the components of back to what it was, focusing on an educational component and engagement when it comes to like terrascaping, really get some activations going. We're fortunate, like where I got cut out there, where we've got Gerald, Steve Featherstone, Corey Woods in the political world that can help get us some information when needed and also some support where needed and stuff. So we're going to use a strong time and a really good message out there when it comes to educating and get some regulations worked on. We're getting a little bit of a heat here from World Animal Protection, just as you folks are down there. They've got some bullshit stats and analytics going out and stuff and fear mongering. So hopefully we can move forward in getting that message a little bit clearer, especially through the CRB when we're getting numbers through the door of 24 and 26,000 pet enthusiasts coming in. We just have to somehow harness that into a sign-off petition each event.
I don't even know how fear mongering would work in Canada, because anybody that's ever been to like Niagara in January, all right, has to know that people can't live outside. There's not going to be an invasive problem with any reptile in Canada, So I'm actually surprised to hear that. I know in England they have a lot of like protests at the shows every day, every week. So I know promoters in England that actually had to switch venues that day because the animal rights people or the PETA people or whatever, just stop whatever people are protesting the show. So has it gotten that far for you guys yet, or is it not?
Knock on wood, we haven't got to the protest. We know they're on site. For a couple shows there, we actually put up signs, no videos allowed, because they were live streaming some bullshit and, taking it all out of context and stuff. We haven't had, hopefully we don't get to that point, but on site, don't forget, we have veterinarians on site. We have security on site. We have plainclothes security on site. And I'm sure you're aware of when, people are coming in through the vendor doors and stuff, we have some real assholes being securities at the doors. So we're watching who's coming in, and, I'll bring you back to where the community is, that we're all together. A few shows ago, we had an incident where a little boy went missing, and the mother came up, and I felt bad for the dad because, man, she was going to kick the crap out of the dad for losing because he was looking at somebody's table, and I'm like, oh, you're dead, dude. So long story short, we got on the mic and we just said, hey, stop, everyone move. Please, everyone pay attention, lock the building down. And within like 30 seconds, everybody stopped, stop silence. And we just said, hey, take a look around for little Wilson. And within 30 seconds, we rounded up this kid. And to me, that was like the most community family network testament to our hobby up here in one of the shows. Everybody literally stopped. It's great to see and stuff. And yeah, it's fun, man. I'm really proud of the entire reptile community up here.
Well, and you guys had Crutchfield at the last one, right?
Yeah.
And when you guys go with him, do you guys actually? I'm getting feedback on somebody's phone.
Grant, do you still have your laptop open?
No. I don't think
Okay,
so.
what about now? Okay, it's gone. Oh, it's close to gone now. How did he get Crutchfield up there? Like, what did you have to do to get him to come all the way up to Canada?
Tom's been a supporter of a number of the I call them the pioneer vendors and the pioneer participants of the shows and stuff. And we always want to acknowledge the old school guys. I think it's really important that, you see Tom's going through some hardship right now, that each generation supports those old school, the ones that really started it all for. And let's face it, years ago, things were a little bit different. You could get away with a lot of stuff, and some of them got stuck doing things. But I'll tell you a funny story. One time, I don't know, probably shouldn't. I'm sure it was said. Bill Love was one time up at our show. Great guy. He's come up a couple times, and I get a call at 6 a.m, and it's from I literally dropped him off at the airport at 5 a.m. on a Monday after the CRBE. I get a call at 6 a.m, and it's from a lawyer. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. He goes, do you know William Love? And I'm like, yeah, I got William Love. Yeah, he's, blah, blah, blah. He goes, he's been detained by the RCMP at the airport. And I'm like, oh, shit, what has he got on his laptop? What is he taking back with him? What's going on? And he's at Millhaven, which is a federal prison here. And so I finally got him on the phone with the lawyer and stuff. And it turns out he brought 3 connecting flights up here. And he was going on 3 connecting flights back. And he actually had a gun on in one of his bags he forgot about. Because he was telling us that when he would go road cruising in Mexico, he would take this in the event of carjacking and stuff. And he just forgot about it. So $20,000 later, $15,000 in lawyer bill. We bailed him out and stuff. And we shipped him back. It was, and he had to come back in November and stuff. And the Canadian reptile community all gathered together to make sure that when he came back, he was safe, secured, got to court, got all the charges dropped, lawyers, everybody funded it and stuff. And it was great because as a group, they came together. And I'm pretty sure if it was any of the pioneers out there, the guys that really started it all for us, we would do the exact same thing again.
Yeah, see that's actually awesome. That's part of the 20% that I always talk about, because it's been my contention that the reptile community is 20% great people, but it's 80% assholes, right?
Right.
And you guys don't have that mentality there, because the top tier people here would have done something like that, okay?
Yeah.
But if it was dependent on the 80% of people that would stab their own mother in the back to get an extra $5, on a snake, it would not happen, right? So I totally get that story. But I mean, the community is probably, what's the population of Canada?
Oh, that's a Fadi question. He's younger.
That is not a Fadi question, but Fadi can Google fast.
Google it fast.
38 million. Oh, in 2022, 38 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we have 300 million, right? So the pool there is a lot smaller. So probably your percentage of reptile keepers would be higher than ours.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and have you guys noticed like a barrier to entry for people coming into the hobby? Like like you definitely want to go after keepers as opposed to breeders, right? Like your show is not set up for breeder to breeder sales, right?
Oh no, we
It's
encourage
both.
it. It's both, yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, well, I know you have like Mandic and Billy there, but like all the bigger guys, and Will didn't vend, but Will stop by, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say like is the main mentality difference between a guy getting in it to breed or a guy getting into it to keep?
I think regardless, there's no barrier to entry at our shows. I think any vendor that you talk to is, there's no gatekeeping. Everyone's ready to share their secrets, share the right way to do it, the right husbandry. But I think the mentality of getting in it as a keeper or getting in it as a breeder depends on whether you're getting in with a pair or a group or a project or a high end animal, if it's in terms of ball python, or just a pet.
Mhm. Would you say that ball pythons still are the mainstay of your reptile shows? Like, what's your like? Do you have a ratio like the bigger shows do down here, where a ball python breeder could call you and just say, "Yeah, we're not going to accept another ball python breeder here."
No, everyone's welcome.
Yeah,
Everybody.
everyone's welcome until they piss us off, or
Right.
if they're detrimental to the hobby, or to a fellow vendor. That's it.
Right. Okay. All right. So basically, but you guys didn't have an overwhelming amount of ball python breeders there.
No, we have a great ratio. We're a pretty diversified group up here.
Mm.
And again, most of the breeders, they'll engage with themselves before the show. They'll be there before the doors open, or they'll do it back at the hotel, or on the way and stuff. And I always crack up because I'll see the young future breeders and stuff taking photos when they see Will and Mark talking.
Yeah.
Or if they see Billy and one of the Lion guys talking or something. And I'm just like, yeah, man, like, I remember all these guys, and it's great, and little hero things. It's nice.
Well, you being 1991, you were in it before Mandic, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Mandic coming into the store one time, and him and I chatting and talking about how it would be great to one day to see white collar families having snakes in their homes.
Yeah.
And we've both been able to see that over the decades, and now it's been achieved. So it's great.
Yeah, that was another highlight there, meeting Mark for the first time, because I've known Mark for years. When I had my ball python company, we actually sold snakes to Mark. And and when we sold, like the two times that we sold snakes to bigger people, one time we sold to Justin, another time we sold to Mark. I was just like, I looked at my partners and I was like, dude, we could just throw this in now. Like, it's not going to get better than Mark Mandic buying from you in Canada and Justin Kabilka buying from you in America, right? Like, what are you going to achieve after that? So getting to meet Mark for the first time, like in person, after years of knowing the guy, Mark is also the kind of guy that you could sit there and you don't have to talk snakes to. You could talk music, you could talk food. I mean, the guy is just, man. I was so happy to finally sit down and get to meet him. Crutchfield, I was happy to meet him in person too. But Crutchfield is kind of like, that curmudgeonly old man, like fucking when he gets in there, he doesn't look at you when he talks to you, he just looks forward, and fucking you're like, hey, dude, am I not that interesting? But I've heard stories about Tom. Like I hope everything works out, because I would love to go to his place one day, because I mean, he's the guy that they wrote books about, so he's definitely the type of dude that you want to get to know.
I think he was pretty exhausted when we also pulled him into you too. I think we grabbed him the last 10 minutes of the day there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were putting him around as well. We had him up on stage, and he was doing a lot.
Yeah, the night before, I think he was almost passing outside the hotel, just falling asleep outside the hotel there. So,
dude, I get it, man. I'm 51, and I was like ready to pass out by like 3:30. I'm like, yeah, you think that anybody would notice if I just passed out here on the table, but it's man, well, you guys also have Adam Wickens at your show, who's a huge YouTuber guy. I don't think you had one big person in Canada not at that show, at least on this side of the country.
Yeah, all the influencers, everyone. It's like Grant said before. It's a very tight community. So everyone comes out to all the shows. They're at every show. Everyone's talking to everyone and having a good time. So it's always a good time at the shows. Everyone should come up.
Well, and currently you guys do one reptile show a month, but you do two 2-day shows like we came up to a year, right?
We do one 2-day show a year for the
Okay.
CRB right now, but 2025 we're going to be launching it into two 2-day shows in the year.
Okay, cool.
No
Okay,
25-day shows, please.
Well,
No
well,
5-day shows?
that's you know that's the thing I would like to come up for, because doing 8 hours for a 1-day show is like that. That's a little rough on a 51-year-old dude with one leg. Okay, I'm sure you guys understand. All right, but the 2-day show, I'll definitely be up at the next 2-day show, because dude, it was so much fun, man. I want to go back just to go to the keg again.
Oh, you can't get better than that. It's just
Dude,
great. It's pure Canadian.
We stayed 3 nights. We were there 2 of those nights. Like the place is so good. Okay.
If you go across the road to Chris Ruth's, it's almost like eating at Mark Mandick's place. It's glorious.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, Mark Mandick is we're definitely gonna be up this year because number one, I want Mark to cook for me, because he cooked for those other 2 jackasses that also went up, and but he made us sandwiches. I said no to one of the sandwiches, and then my 2 guys come in eating what were going to be my sandwiches. I was like, you sons of bitches, So we definitely want to go up to Mark's. Do you have dates on those CRBEs yet or no?
You know what? That's funny. I just saw Mark's message come, because him and I have talked about this for years now. And anytime we do something significant like that for the hobby, we're going to engage with a lot of the vendors to find out what they think is best for them and best for the community. So we'll nail that down in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Now there's also a reptile show on the West Coast, right, of Canada?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Greg West and Tyrone Smith do the Western Canadian Reptile Expo.
Whoa, Mike! Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. We appreciate it, man. Fucking, they fucking rule. Mike is just one of those dudes. I met Mike and I instantly liked him. I was just like, yeah, this dude is fucking cool as shit. Like in my weed smoking days, I would have been like, this is the motherfucker to smoke weed with, right? Like, this is the guy, right? But yeah, he was great. Mike, thank you. So the West Coast show, you guys don't run that though, right?
No, we don't know. That's another group that does that. Greg West and Tyrone Smith. Yeah, it's a smaller market, but for Western Canada, it's great. And now you're seeing the Western Canadian vendors coming into Toronto to do the CRB.
You don't have any American vendors at CRB, right? Just because of the pain in the ass it would be with CITES and all that.
It's not that bad to get an in and out CITES, and we used to years ago, but then COVID came and it stopped it. And I think moving forward, we'll look at engaging some of them to get them come up and stuff. Steve Russo, Snake Man Exotics, Barchek used to come up. A number of the bigger players used to come up from the Michigan, New York area.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we encourage it.
Yeah, my guy Reggie came from Detroit. Reggie is incredible. Also, it's like, it's like really. I was not afraid of turning around and seeing an asshole there at that show, at that whole show. It was great because I knew that everybody and like I said, like in America, people would be like, "Hey, you fat fuck, glad you came here. Fucking, you suck, you crippled asshole." But in Canada, we're just getting like, "Yo, we really appreciate you guys coming up. Thank you so much for coming up." But like the mindset is so different, And then I talked to Jason from Elk about it, and he said, he goes, "Yeah, maybe to your face."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, such fucking great people. So, all right. So you let me know what I can do to help promote, the next bigger show, even the smaller shows, because I mean, what you guys do is just fucking incredible. I mean, we had literally the best time, and I had the best time with 2 other idiots from New York with me. Okay, so we could have a good time, together like that. I think that I would recommend if anybody's near the border and within 8 or 10 hours of the show that they go to this show.
And we encourage everybody. Like at the end of the day, we're there for 2 days. The doors are open to the public on the one day for the local shows. but we're there Saturday, Sunday. So if anybody wants to come up and hang out on the setup day, it's a pretty wild time. We just kind of relax and joke, and it's very casual. That's for sure.
Very casual.
Is it as casual on the 1-day shows?
Yeah, absolutely. We're there Saturday, and we usually just get through all the fun stuff Saturday, and then Sunday we buckle down from was it 10 to 4 on Sunday?
10 to 4.
10 to 4, yeah, 10 to 4. Nice casual.
The 1-day shows are good. They're a good time as well. They're a lot of fun. The next one is October 20th. If anyone is in the area, come up.
Yeah, I would totally recommend anybody, like if they can, to come up. Plus, you guys have cool, funny money. You know,
we do.
Colorful money with a clear strip in it and all that. So,
you can throw it in the dryer; it doesn't shrink and it doesn't burn.
Seriously,
and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and also, back to the place. The place is just so convenient, right? I mean, there was 25 hotels, within 5 minutes of the place. There were great places to eat.
Parking's free.
What's that?
Parking is free.
Parking is free. Yeah, which is great. So yeah, I would definitely say, Crystal, if I could get up in November, I might do that. Because it was such a good time. And like I said, the two guys that I were with was like, this is a great show. I mean, so keep doing what you're doing. How could people get in touch with you guys?
All over the socials. We're Canadian Pet Expo on Instagram, Reptile Expo on Instagram, Facebook for both of them. What's the email? Info at CanadianPetExpo.ca, I think.
Yeah, there's reptilebreedersexpo.ca. We're all over it, so they can reach out that way. That's the best way. Just go to reptilexpo.ca and reach out that way, or just text Fadi or I.
Well, and also I want to include Fadi and not be a dick and be like, Fadi got his own company too, right? Yeah. His own breeding company.
It's just a little YouTube channel. I wouldn't call it a breeding company, but yeah, Daffy's Reptiles on YouTube. If anyone's watching, go subscribe.
Okay. And Port Credit Pets for Grant too, right?
Yeah, it's there. If you need feeders and supplies, hook us up. Reach out to us and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a community, and I'd much rather see the vendors, kind of self-market themselves for that and grow it that way.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I appreciate you guys coming in. And I've been, it seems like I've been pimping Canada for the last month, but I don't care. I don't care, man. I fucking had such a good time. And, before that, I haven't been out of my house in like a year. Wow. So to come out of the house and just go there and get the love there and see all the people just having a great time. It was really, I honestly can't recommend this show enough. So
yeah. And I also want to, if you don't mind, just for a quick second,
yeah, of course.
I want to send kudos out to all the ball python breeders, all the guys that started 25 years ago, creating rain chambers, creating crazy concoctions to get them to hook up, to get them to hatch out, bringing in imports and starting it for everybody. I can go back to the stories of like the Roy Stockwells in Canada here that literally drove a pair of wild-caught ball pythons around in a bucket with a water pump, trying to mimic raining on them and stuff, because if it wasn't for them starting to evolving now to where you have the Marcus Janes, the Geralds, the Wills, yourself and stuff, evolving the captive breeding of a species that offers so many different eye candies out there, the reptile community would be nowhere near where it is now. And everyone else says about how many breeders and vendors there are. It is what it is. If it wasn't for the ball python breeders and the guys focused on doing it and doing it well, man, we wouldn't be sitting here at all. We'd be talking about hamsters. Well, maybe for Fadi, but
no, yeah. But definitely not crested geckos, right?
No, we're talking ball pythons. Right? We're gonna.
Oh my God, guys! Thank you so much. I definitely can't wait to see you guys again, and we're gonna set up a dinner next time for everybody, like at the keg. We'll figure out a way to just shut down the keg for the night. All right.
You let us know, because we can do a few things at that venue, so we can bring the keg to us. So it works out well.
Even better. Okay. guys, thanks again. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for
man.
having
Okay.
us, Chris.
All right,
Take care
it
now.
easy. All
Bye,
right,
Chris.
bye-bye. Yo, I mean, I love those two dudes. They honestly did so much for us while we were up there, and I gotta tell you, I can't thank them enough. I definitely would love to work with them in the future a little bit more. So everybody go to Reptile Expo on Instagram. Go follow them. Go to Canadian Reptile Expo.ca. That's the Canada.com, I'm assuming. And go check them out. So, all right. So everybody, thanks for sticking around. Remember, beware of that toxic positivity that's going on here in America, because turns out that all that positiveness is not really what it's what it's being claimed to be. Okay, from what I hear. Okay, and even if it is, fuck them. They don't like me anyway, so I don't care. But anyway, let's check out what's going on with Herps with Lori and Sean Gray down in Texas. So they're going to be in Belton, Texas on October 5th and 6th. They're going to be in the Jew capital of Texas, Rosenberg, Texas, on November 2nd and 3rd. They're going to be in Sulphur, Louisiana, on November 9th and 10th. I'm going to be on November 9th, I believe. I'm going to be at the Gettysburg Reptile Expo. So if any of you guys get a chance, make sure you stop me and say hello. We're not going to have a booth, but I'm going to be hanging out with my boy Paulie Bag of Donuts over at Steve Conduit from Conduit Constrictors Tables. So I'm going to be at the Gettysburg show on November 9th. On November 16th and 17th, Herps is going to be in West Monroe, Louisiana. They're going to be in Denison, Texas on November 23rd and 24th. They're going to be in Austin, Texas, which I would love to go down to and see Corey Martin and Heidi and Jack Dunlap. So maybe I'll try that in December, but I don't think I'll make it in December. I'll probably see you guys beginning of next year. On December 14th and 15th, they're in Slidell, Louisiana. I'm definitely avoiding that one like the plague, okay? Simply because, I know an asshole that goes. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, they're going to be there January 11th and 12th. So they're going to take about a month off for Christmas and New Year's. So make sure you go to herbshows.net. Go follow them on Instagram too at Herp Exotic Reptile and Pet Expo. Sea serpents. Guys, if you don't have a sea serpents rack or incubator in your house, you're just a dumbass, okay? You're just a fucking dumbass, because the bottom line is that some people don't want Freedom Breeders or ARS racks that take up a 2 refrigerator footprint in their fucking living room, okay? You want to go to fucking sea serpents where everything, looks like some piece of furniture, and it could go in the living room. It could go in the bedroom. It doesn't have to be stuck in a fucking basement or garage. Like if you had an ARS rack in your house that also weighs like 2,500 pounds, Chris will ship out any size rack, any size incubator to you. He does the best packing in the hobby, and he has the best PVC racks, cages, and incubators in the hobby. So everybody, thank you again for taking the time to do this whole thing with me. I want to find a way to run the Patreon people's names up on a live here. I'll probably get that figured out by next show. Speaking of the next show, Dave Levinson, okay? Dave fucking Levinson is making his first appearance on Snakes and the Fat Man after 8 years. And I've been acquaintances with Dave for probably 10 or 12 years. So I'm very excited to have the guy on. We're going to talk some shit. I think you're going to like it. That's really all I got for you. We're not doing a hot girl episode this Sunday. However, don't forget to watch the Lamest Chat on the Fat Man Network at 7 p.m. Those guys are killing it now too. So guys, I just want to thank everybody Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And let's see. I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Take it easy, guys.